by lawyers for actor Justin Baldoni showed unedited footage from the filming of...
One thing you should know about me is I will admit and apologize for when I fail.
My nose is so big.
It was a perfect thing. We could address this. It's not too late.
Justin, maybe you need to stop talking about my wife. Wait, what is your problem, Ryan?
My money is on Blake Lively being wrong.
Teaching Justin how to pull you in. I love that.
I felt good at the moment for her to use this vulnerable moment against me.
You literally know nothing about women.
Get ready, because what we've uncovered is nothing short of explosive. For the first time ever, previously unseen private text messages and voice memos left out of lawsuit reveal shocking details about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's relationship. But that's not all. Exclusive behind-the-scenes footage from a movie set shows Blake behaving in ways that directly contradict her legal claims. All of this evidence is being withheld until the trial officially begins, meaning the drama is only just starting to unfold. If things continue down this path, Blake Lively could be facing her own Amber Heard 2.0 moment. And trust me, this is only the beginning.
Time progressed in this film. She decided that she wanted to be a producer. She started to make edits. She wanted to be part of the editing team. There were people hired, like human beings actually hired to do the editing job, who had done work.
What makes this saga even more explosive is a claim that Blake Lively allegedly tried to use her superstar connections, Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds, to pressure Justin Baldoni and Sony Pictures. Her message was clear: hand over control of the film or risk losing not only the support of her massive fan base, but also the powerful backing of her A-list friends. But here's where it gets interesting. Her bold gamble didn't play out the way she expected. Instead of solidifying her position, the entire plan backfired spectacularly, and I've got all the details on how it all came crashing down.
Making any sense after working for this film for almost 2 years, together collaborating, text messages, voice memos, getting along, joking. We never had it before the break, and then after the break, suddenly there's this weird thing going on with all these events that met them at their place and folds up on them. And then Taylor's looking at him like...
That was Justin Baldoni essentially defending himself against the chaos Blake Lively allegedly stirred up. And trust me, you'll want extra popcorn because this story only gets crazier. From the start, things just don't add up. Blake and Justin worked side by side on the film for nearly 2 years, collaborating closely, laughing together, and showing no signs of conflict. Then, after a short break, everything flipped. Out of nowhere, Blake began making new demands. Ryan Reynolds reportedly lashed out at Justin, while Taylor Swift gave him the cold shoulder as if he committed some unforgivable offense. The strange part, despite the sudden tension, Justin insists he kept things professional. He and Blake even spent long hours together in the editing room, with Blake pushing to be heavily involved in post-production. The breaking point came when Justin didn't even reject her outright. He simply told her to wait until he had a rough cut ready so she could give feedback later. That single no changed everything. Suddenly, Justin was locked out his own project. Sony handed creative control to Blake, while Ryan and Taylor began promoting the film as if it had been her vision from the start. Meanwhile, Justin, the man who had poured 5 years into the project, was treated like an outsider at his own movie premiere. Then there's Colleen Hoover, the author of the best-selling novel behind the adaptation. She had personally chosen Justin to direct, collaborated with him on the script, and even stood by his side to promote the movie after the alleged harassment had already occurred. Yet once Blake filed her lawsuit, Colleen abruptly switched allegiances. Her Instagram post declaring support for Blake blindsided Justin, leaving many to wonder, was this orchestrated from the beginning, or did Blake flip the script once things didn't go her way? As the legal battle escalated, another layer emerged. Justin supporters noticed that personal information about him was suddenly being leaked online. Old addresses, phone numbers, and emails resurfaced in shady corners of the internet. A harsh reminder how vulnerable anyone can be in the digital age. Some even pointed out how difficult and costly it is to scrub that information once it's out there. That's where services like Aura step in, offering identity theft protection, dark web monitoring, VPNs, and more to safeguard against this kind of exploitation. But circling back to the heart of the scandal, What stands out is how consistently Justin praised Blake. Even after everything in interviews, he called her brilliant, talented, and deeply invested in the creative process. He credited her with shaping the film, especially the intimacy scenes, saying she had a clear vision of how they should play out on screen. Just, how do we reconcile these conflicting narratives? On one side, Blake paints herself as a victim of misconduct. On the other, Justin shows unwavering respect for her contributions. Even as he's pushed out his own film, did Blake genuinely feel undermined, or was she maneuvering for more power and control? Were Ryan and Taylor simply standing by a friend, or were they part of a broader strategy to sway public opinion? And what about Colleen Hoover's sudden shift? Was it genuine change of heart, or the result of pressure from industry power players? The deeper you dig, the murkier it becomes. What began as a film adaptation of a best-selling novel has spiraled into one of Hollywood's messiest scandals in years. Lawsuits, friendships tested, reputations threatened, and trust shattered. Point one thing certain: this isn't just about movie anymore. It's about power, influence, and the dangerous collision of personal dynamics with professional ambition in an industry where perception is everything.
But so I'm hoping to see you back in the double duty role.
I think there are better people for that one.
Justin.
I think Blake Lively's ready to do it.
After Blake locked Justin out of the project, took full control, and re-edited everything, she never once praised him publicly, even though her private texts told a very different story. In those messages, she thanked him, called him talented, and expressed gratitude for his collaboration. But just when it seemed the situation couldn't get any more chaotic, Blake dropped a bombshell. She accused Justin of being inappropriate during their intimate scenes. At first, her lawsuit painted a picture with no context, no evidence, just her word against his. The public was left wondering what had really happened behind closed doors. That is, until Justin's legal team leaked the unedited footage of the exact scene Blake had described in her complaint. Suddenly, everything shifted. The raw video told a very different story from the one Blake presented, flipping the narrative entirely and leaving everyone questioning the truth behind her accusations.
My nose is so big.
I was hoping they could address this. It's not too late. Just gotta shut down, gotta go on insurance month and just deal with that.
Blake wasn't just acting in those intimate scenes. She was directing them. She even stepped into the role of intimacy coordinator, making key decisions about how they should unfold. Yet later in her lawsuit, she accused Justin of crossing boundaries, improvising, and kissing her excessively. Here's a twist. Before the filming break, there were only 2 scripted kissing scenes. Nothing more. No improvisation. No extras. But when production resumed, Blake returned with a new set of demands and refused to meet with the actual intimacy coordinator, making her allegations appear even more questionable. It felt as though she was rewriting history to push Justin aside, and Blake wasn't alone. Colleen Hoover, who had once praised Justin's script as perfect, abruptly switched side the moment Blake seized control. She even helped re-edit the film, effectively cutting Justin out of the project he had built from the ground up. Then came Taylor Swift's surprising involvement. Justin had personally discovered the young actress cast as Lily and fought hard to secure her the role. But who ultimately gave the green light? Not Justin, it was Blake and Taylor. The actress herself admitted that Taylor had the final say. And when the interviews rolled out, Justin's role in discovering her wasn't even mentioned. It was as if his contributions had been completely erased from the very project he had poured years of his life into shaping.